Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC 10 Net Việt Among Yet. In our program today, we will have a chance to talk with Ms. Pratibha Mehta, UNDP resident in Vietnam, and she will share about the topic of developing the green growth projects in Vietnam towards the international integration process. Thank you, Ms. Pratibha Mehta, for joining our program today. First of all, how do you evaluate the green growth projects that Vietnam has been carrying out up to now?
Vietnam, in the past 5 years, has taken some critical action to position itself as a country which is very serious about sustainable development and green growth, starting with the adoption of the National Strategy on Climate Change, the National Green Growth Strategy, and now preparing a Green Growth Action Plan to ensure that the strategies are implemented and monitored. So I think Vietnam in just 5 years has taken some very significant steps. It needs to continue its focus and it has to remain one of the key priorities for Vietnam in the next 5-year plan that is under preparation right now.
You know that Vietnam is in Southeast Asian region and we are going to create the ASEAN Economic Community by 2015. So what are the requirements and suggestions that you want to give to Vietnam to develop the green growth projects?
Well, Vietnam as a country and as a partner in the ASEAN community should be leading these discussions because as I said, Vietnam has taken some really important strategic steps. And so together with other ASEAN community, the steps taken in Vietnam can inform the discussions of the ASEAN integration vision. The region, the ASEAN region is vulnerable to climate change impact. All the ASEAN countries will have to work together and individually for national action to make sure that the economic integration of ASEAN reduces the greenhouse gas emission of the region as a whole, that it introduces green ways of doing business, and that it also introduces green lifestyle within the ASEAN communities.
After joining the workshop of introducing the CIGG project, I wonder why green growth always goes along with the economic reform and supplement each other.
First of all, it is important to understand that green growth does not replace sustainable development. It is a part of sustainable development discussion because a lot of actions need to be taken to achieve sustainable development and sustainable environment development. And green growth is an extremely important part of that. It is extremely important in Vietnam, which is a middle-income country, becoming very urban and industrialized. So a lot of infrastructure works will take place. So changing the economic model where investments are made that will result in green economy, green business practices, green production in every sector of economy is extremely important.
One of the typical projects in promoting green growth in Vietnam is strengthening capacity and institutional reforms for green growth and sustainable development in Vietnam, or CIGG, launched by the Vietnamese Ministry of Planning and Investment and the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, and other partners. The project is about to be implemented in 4 years, with a total budget of $4.13 million. The project will contribute to strengthening the capacity of the Ministry of Planning and Investment, Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Transport, as well as the provincial authorities in implementing an effective monitoring process of Green Growth Strategy and Action Plan of Vietnam. This will help develop policies to promote investment towards green growth and mobilization of financial resources. Moreover, the project will incorporate green growth in the process of developing an action plan at provincial and sectoral level.
I think economic development and green growth are very compatible. We're coming up on a period where all countries will be committed to goals for sustainable development, and Vietnam has been a leader in looking at how its growth can be maintained in a green way. Vietnam is a fast-growing country, and we support its continued prosperity and its continued success. And I think for all of us, that means also thinking about how ways that we can grow that are sustainable, and that mean we leave a good planet for our children and for our grandchildren.
Typically, the green growth projects are divided into three phases. The first phase is the development of green strategies with a long-term vision, and then it offers a mechanism of governance institutions which outline the investment plan. Secondly, it sets the objectives, plans, and development strategies. It also finds risks of the market to provide financial analysis and technology. Thirdly, it promotes cooperation with the businesses and private investors and develops institutions for assessment, reports, and project implementations. Recently, Vietnamese government issued the National Strategy for Green Growth and the Action Plan for Green Growth from 2014 to 2020. It proves the determination of Vietnam in pursuing green growth model and become one of the developing countries heading for innovative green technology and natural resources efficiency. To focus more about the project, what kind of benefits that the projects will bring to Vietnam in developing green growth?
This new project will support the implementation of the green growth strategy in terms of building the capacities so that the government can do timely and regular monitoring and tracking of the emissions and investment. Secondly, the project will support in identifying the right priorities for green growth investment and for green growth development. Third, it will build the capacity for provincial green growth plans. Again, it's very important that the actions at the provincial level, at the district level, the commune level are also green because most actions take place there. So it's very important that the provinces fully understand the green growth model and develop provincial green growth action plans. In that process, building more awareness on green growth benefits, green growth value addition, and that green growth does not mean less growth. That green growth will mean actually more growth and a better quality growth.
To focus on green growth and sustainable development, Vietnam has to make a lot of change and reform. So what kind of sector that you suggest Vietnam to take the priority on in developing green growth and economic reform?
Certainly agriculture as a sector is extremely important. It's one of the largest sectors in Vietnam with agriculture, fisheries, forest. It's a huge sector where and contributes the most in the economic growth of the country. A lot of new actions have started there, like smart agriculture, climate-proof agriculture, the UN RED project, which is focused on forestry, similarly infrastructure. There is a lot of investment going in buildings, in large infrastructure, in construction, and also construction industry is one of the biggest polluter. So that has to be green. We have to have green building code of conduct. We have to have green building construction materials. We need to mainstream some of the principles of social and environment in all of these projects.
Can you share the next phase of CIGG projects in developing green growth in Vietnam?
Well, we are launching the first phase, so we need to put our energies and all our efforts to ensure that it succeeds. All the objectives of the CIG are met. We are also working with MAD, we are also working with MOIT, we are working with Monterey. So in aggregate terms, we are supporting a wide range of actions which will contribute in green growth.
Thank you, Ms. Pratip Hamita, for joining our program today. And that is also the end of our program Sharing Vietnam. For comments and feedbacks, please send it to sharingvietnam@netvietv.net. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.